Hi, this is Crowner Annabelle. So, this is a dream I had last night and its interpretation. So, in this dream, I was surrounded by a bunch of people I knew, family, close relatives, as well as like cousins and different things of that nature. And we were hanging out. Well, two of my cousins, they walked up to me and they started to ask me to write something for them because they wanted to broadcast and talk about it, right? So they were asking me to write like some of the bad experiences I had with my father, like my dad, right? So, and I don't know if they were saying that they wanted to talk about the bad experiences that they had with my dad, but they wanted me to write it, right? Because they kind of tried to like say, "Oh, you're good with words, so can you write this for us, whatever," right? So they kept like trying to like pull out of me what experiences, like bad experiences I had with my dad. And I'm thinking in my mind, like, this is something you want to write. You're going based on your experiences. So I kept asking them, like, okay, what is it that you want to write? What is it what experience that you want to talk about? So I kept asking them that. And they kept saying, like they kept trying to get me to tell them the bad experiences that I had with my dad, right? But God, this is why I tell you guys, it's so good to pray against the enemy, because the enemy will come to you in a dream to try to get information out of you, to try to send attacks towards you. So it's always good to pray that God is even directing you and guiding you even while you're sleeping, so that you'll know what to do when the enemy tries to come up against you in your most vulnerable state, right? So God had me not speak about any of the experiences that I had with my dad. Now in my dreams, when I have dreams and my dad's in the dream, it's always represented as the father. Like I know, like from a past experiences, that when my dad shows up in my dream, it means the father, right? God. So they kept like trying to push, like pull me. They kept trying to do that, and I was like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. What is the experience that you want to talk about? So we kind of just danced around that for a while, because they was like kind of just hanging around until I decided to tell them some of the experiences I had, right? But I never did. I just kept saying, well, when you guys are ready to tell me what it is that you want to write about, then, I'm all ears. So I'm just sitting there waiting, like waiting with them. And so then, let me see. So they kept saying, So I didn't say anything. I just it just got quiet and awkward, right? So they didn't have any answers when I asked them, so what is the experience you want to talk about? They didn't have any answers. They kept saying, remember that time, and trying to wait for me to fill in the blanks, right? But I didn't. Then someone else told this person, said, I remember what you said that happened when you was living with your mother. You said it was like hell, right? Talking to my cousins, right? Then they were like acting confused, like they didn't know what was happening. Now, God, mind you, the mention of hell was another sign that God was giving me that this is Satan, right? So that was the end of the dream. So I found that very interesting, because the enemy is very crafty. They are trying so many ways to try to gather information from us about the Father, gather information from us about our walk with God, our experiences, and different things of that nature, because they want to broadcast the negative things about God. They don't want to talk about the good things, and they're upset that we are talking about the good things that is happening in our walk with God, right? That's the dream. So the interpretation of this dream: the enemy is now trying to come in while you're sleeping to gain information about any bad experiences that we feel we have had with our walk with God, to gather information to feed to the masses. Pray for God to intercede on your behalf while you are sleeping, when Satan tries to come in and try to pull information out of you. He shows up as a familiar spirit, somebody like in your family of different nature, but he will show up looking and sounding just like this person. But they will not know anything, or they won't have any information about this person, your relationship with this person. But be careful, you guys. God made sure I did not say anything, but just looked at them, waiting for them to speak. So, like I was telling you guys, when I tell you guys in my lives, like I've always prayed that God is guiding me even while I'm sleeping, because I noticed as of like the last year or so, the enemy always tries to strike while I'm sleeping, because they cannot attack me when I'm awake. I'm much more powerful when I'm awake, but in my vulnerable state, they feel like they can pull information out of you. Same thing as with people sitting in witchcraft and different things of that nature. They generally try to come within, while you're sleeping, because that's when you're at your most vulnerable state. That's when you can make the mistake of possibly taking something from them, eating some of the food they offer you while you're sleeping, so that they can get you into bondage. So this was the message, you guys. Be careful, because this is their new tactic. You're much more powerful when you're awake, so they're now coming while you're sleeping. They're going to try anything that they can to try to decipher any form of information out of you about God and your walk with God, just to try to gain information to feed back to the mass of the negativity, because there are so many people now like moving towards Christ, seeking Christ, building a relationship with Christ, and Satan does not like that, so he wants to now highlight the bad experiences to try to pull those people away, to try to pull any more people who may be seeking God now, or may be kind of straddling the fence to try to decide whether they want to go left or right. You know what I mean? He's trying to push so much negative energy out here. He even asked some of his foot soldiers out here trying to speak ill of God and different things of that nature, to try to stray people away, because so many people are gravitating towards God, and this is what is supposed to be happening. But the enemy is trying to fight against it at every turn. So I just wanted to bring y'all, up to speed on what's going on right now spiritually. This is their new tactic. Ask God to guide you and intercede for you on your behalf while you're sleeping, so that you will know how to react and how to act when the enemy strikes while you're sleeping. This is the message. May God bless you. Have a good day.